Tom Petty's death at age 66 in October 2017 was nothing short of tragic for fans of his classic music. He was an elder statesman of rock and roll, but right after he finished a reunion tour, he sadly passed away. Here are things we learned about him after he died. In 2017, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers embarked on their 40th anniversary tour, a 53-date extravaganza with a set list comprised of only the band's most popular songs. It was also, probably and secretly, Petty's farewell tour. His wife Dana told Billboard, he had it in mind it was his last tour and he owed it to his longtime crew, for decades some of them, and his fans. That's because just before he hit the road, Petty learned that he had suffered a fractured hip. That made it extremely difficult and agonizing for the rock star to take the stage every night for 4 months, and yet he soldiered on. But over the course of the tour, it worsened to a more serious injury. Leading a massive rock and roll roadshow with a bad hip placed Petty in a heartbreaking state of constant, unbelievable pain. Standing on stage and playing the guitar night after night helped turn that fractured hip into a full-on broken hip, a diagnosis he received the day he died. A hip replacement likely would have alleviated his pain and suffering, and according to his wife, he was scheduled for new hip surgery not long after the tour's conclusion. But he avoided going under the knife as he felt that he needed a break and he just wanted to be home with his wife and dog. But all the while, Petty dealt with the physical agony with a strong regimen of prescription painkillers. And that's what killed him. His family revealed in a statement that the cause of death was an accidental drug overdose from a variety of medications. As if an increasingly problematic hip wasn't the source of enough worry and pain already, Petty secretly dealt with some additional health problems in the months preceding his death. After a California medical examiner's office issued its final reports and analysis of what suddenly felled the tireless rocker, Petty's family released a statement containing autopsy information. They revealed that he had suffered from many serious ailments, including knee problems and emphysema. His wife told Billboard that he had received the startling diagnoses about his hip and the emphysema just a few days before the tour was set to start. Still, he was adamant that he couldn't cancel that last run of shows.
It's my audience is what's made me survive, honestly.
Just after what would be his final concert, Petty sat for an interview with Randy Lewis of the Los Angeles Times. Published after Petty's passing, it painted the rocker as a man not content with a lazy retirement. As he put it, I just have to learn to rest a little bit like everyone's telling me. It's hard for me. If I don't have a project going, I don't feel like I'm connected to anything. To that end, Petty had several projects he planned to start or resume. He loved curating music for his SiriusXM show Tom Petty's Buried Treasure, and he wanted to continue doing that. He was also in the early stages of producing the second album by The Shelters, a band he'd mentored. Perhaps the biggest thing Petty had in store was an expansion and reissue of his seminal 1994 solo album Wildflowers. He originally intended for the LP to be a double album, and before his death, he was in the process of adding back in several excised songs. After that, the plan was to tour the bigger and better Wildflowers with what Heartbreaker guitarist Mike Campbell called a smaller scale tour, featuring special guest musicians, including Norah Jones. Tom Petty was forever a devoted student of music, but he had another passion that wasn't widely known. After his death, his biographer Warren Zanes revealed to Rolling Stone the rocker's abiding love for Maxwell House coffee and his quest to brew the perfect cup of unpretentious brew. According to Zanes, years earlier, Petty and his wife Dana stopped at a diner near their home in Malibu for a cup of joe. It was so tasty that Petty asked the manager what brand he used. It turned out to be plain old Maxwell House. Petty wasn't embarrassed for enjoying something so pedestrian. Instead, he asked if he could go into the kitchen to see how the diner prepared it. That's where he saw the other secret to great coffee, a standard-issue Bunn automatic coffee maker. Petty promptly bought 2 for his home. A few months later, he hosted relatives at his home for a week of Christmas festivities, which included meals prepared by a private chef. This time, the coffee was even better than before. The chef's trick was using a knife to level measuring spoons of ground coffee so as to nail the perfect coffee-to-water ratio. And from that point forward, that was how coffee would always be prepared at the Petty home. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more grunge videos about your favorite artists are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.